All right, what's going on, guys? We are back. Huddle Up podcast number 31. We're kind of we're right before baseball, which is brutal. Obviously, football's over, so we were just talking off air, our love for basketball. Mine is still there, but Hayden's a little out. We'll get him back, though. It's just Luca's fat again. That's the issue.
He's not even fat again, dude. I'm not doing this shit.
But yeah, we're gonna kind of just play this one by ear, see where we get. Start with a little bit of NFL offseason, then maybe fringe NBA, some fringe baseball possibly. So, but yeah, we just had the combine this week, so obviously it's kind of something that I feel like is somewhat, it's like not overrated because there's a lot of business that gets done at combines now, but like with social media, technology, scouting, like you kind of know what you're getting. And then there's, unless you're like Sonny Styles or Lorenzo Styles, then I guess like, we didn't really know until now. But, there's some stuff that'll stick out like that. But a lot of these players, we kind of know what we're getting into. But is there anything that you noticed from the combine or anything you wanted to go over?
Okay, maybe this is I have more of like a hot take, but
Sure.
I think we've kind of, or maybe, I don't know. I think I've said it before in a different way, but like if you're, like I saw them talking about this on like the Rich Eisen show, and it was like someone had proposed the idea like, oh, if you're the Raiders and you trade Max Crosby, for, like let's say you trade Max Crosby for like a first and DJ Moore. They were like, wouldn't you just take... I mean, realistically, I don't think Mendoza's the best player on the board. It's just positional value,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
David Bailey, Arvell Reese, Sonny Styles, whatever. So, like, I don't know why... I mean, the idea was if you trade Max Crosby to, like, the Bears for, like, a first and DJ Moore, right? It's like, why wouldn't you just take the best defender available and then wait until next year to draft a quarterback who's probably going to be overall... I mean, not even probably, but like more talented and probably a better player than Mendoza, or at least a higher ceiling, which is what I think that you should do with the first overall pick. Because, I mean, even if they, like, the counter argument was that, oh, like, if they do that, like, you don't know if they're going to be in the same spot to pick, top quarterback. Like, Raiders are ass. Like, if they're going to be, they're going to have a top 5 pick next year. Whether or not they draft Mendoza this year, whether or not they have Max Crosby, like they're going to go 0-6 in their division. I haven't looked at their schedule, but I already know they're not winning more than 6 of those games, and 6 wins probably puts you at the worst case the 8th pick.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I think you draft the best player available if you're in that position with number 1, or I mean, you could even trade down. I'm trying to think, like... I'm trying to think if there's a team in the top 10 that would need a quarterback. Like, maybe the Cardinals would be like, hey, like, jump from 3 to 1, and they give up a first next year. Like, I think, even if it was just that in a nutshell, like, you trade up from 3 to 1, and you get the first next year, the Cardinals with Mendoza aren't winning more than 6 games, so then that's another top 10 pick you stack in an even better draft next year.
Yeah.
That's just my thought process on it. I don't know what you think, but I
think the premise you're like very spot on. I think where I get agitated with some like conversations like this, where like it might be selling Mendoza short. Like I don't necessarily disagree that like. If like a lot of people will talk about the Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, like that draft class, and like, oh, where is Mendoza in that? And people are like, okay, Mendoza was worse than Caleb, worse than Drake May, worse than Jaden Daniels as a prospect. Like I'm okay with that. Those guys also went, 1, 2, and 3, and like I think Mendoza's still, if you can lock up your franchise guy. Like, if you believe enough in Mendoza, then you should take him, is kind of my point. Like, if you're
Yeah.
if you're in the Raiders position, you because again, I think your premise is right, but if you're looking at these quarterbacks and you're like, okay, we like Mendoza, then point blank, like you just don't even think about it. Like you just take him. That's your guy. Because you never know what can happen next year. Like let's say they like love, Arch Manning, but oh shoot, well, tears his ACL or something. Something. You never know what's going to happen. So I think you just have to be very careful playing that game. Even though again, like I don't think you're wrong, but it would be one thing if they said, okay, we don't like Mendoza at all and we want out, which I would guess that's kind of what the Bears did in that Bryce Young draft, right? When they traded.
No, but they traded the pick like before the season, or I thought they traded the first overall pick, like.
Well, that's how they got Caleb.
No, yeah, but I'm saying like because that was like the DJ Moore was involved in that trade, right? Like they swapped first round pick. I thought that the trade was sooner than them knowing that Bryce Young was going to be like the number one, like that, because DJ Moore I thought played the season with the Bears, and then the Panthers trade. Let me look it up.
I'm pretty sure the way it broke was the Texans lost that regular season game. Bears acquired the number one pick, and then they traded it.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, you're
Carolina.
right.
Isn't that right? It was pre-draft that year.
Yeah. So it was DJ Moore. So DJ Moore, the 2023 ninth overall pick, a second that year, a first the next year, and a second the year after, which was last year for the first. So yeah, no, you're right. It was on March of 2023. So
Yeah.
like a month before the draft.
Yeah.
Okay.
So bringing that up because they were like, okay, we don't want Bryce Young or CJ Stroud, so we're gonna shop the pick. I think like that was the right play, obviously, and I mean it worked out very well for him. But that's the only way. I just don't think you overthink it. That's all of that to say you don't overthink it. If you like Mendoza, take him. If you don't, then yeah, you're gonna shop the pick. Try and trade down whatever. But
Yeah, but I do agree with that. I guess my counterpoint to that would be if you draft Mendoza, right?
yeah,
One, the Raiders are still going to be ass this year. They don't have an O-line. They don't have a receiver that makes you go, wow. Like, they have Bowers and they have Genty. Like, obviously, they have two of the best young prospects at their respective positions. But you're putting him in a terrible situation. There's still no defense. You're still not going to win games. So, I mean, yeah, like, they could bank on next year and then Arch blows out his knee or Mensa blows out his knee or Dante Moore or whatever, right? But I mean, who's to say you don't put Mendoza behind that offensive line and he has some sort of crazy injury and then, right? I mean, you can play the game of what ifs the whole time. But I guess my real argument to that is if Mendoza reaches his ceiling, which I really don't know what his comp is, like I think it's Jared Goff-ish in the sense of like the tier of quarterback he can reach. Like I don't think he's going to be an MVP one day. I don't think he's going to be an all-pro. Like I think he can be like a Pro Bowler. But like
yeah, I think
you're drafting a guy to not even be the second best quarterback in your division. Like he's probably going to be fighting for the third spot with Knicks. Like so long as Knicks has Sean Payton, there's going to be a real uphill battle. And like yeah, like he'll have Kubiak. Like that's going to help him a lot. But if you had to ask, like, for the next 5 years, would you rather have Bo Nix and Sean Payton or Fernando Mendoza and Clint Kubiak? Anyone with a brain is going to pick Sean Payton and Bo Nix, which, I didn't think 2 years ago I wouldn't have been on here saying that, but, like, I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. So I just think that, I think he has a high floor, probably a higher floor than Bo Nix. I mean, I just... Like the comp or whatever from the combine thing was like he has the build like Matt Ryan. Like, all right, I don't think he's ever going to reach.
I heard that. I heard that too.
Yeah, like I don't think he's ever going to reach Matt Ryan. Like unless you put a very good team around him, which then again, I mean, Indiana had a really good team, not necessarily great individual players,
Yeah.
but I'm not sold on him 100%, and maybe I'm wrong. I mean, like Stafford, right? Stafford had Megatron, and then that was just kind of it. And he made one Pro Bowl, I think, in his time with Detroit, and then it didn't click for him until he was 32 or something, or whatever, 31, 32. Like, I just think that you spend this year, if you're the Raiders, building up your team. I mean, who knows? Maybe you could trade back, like, who's picking 7th?
7th is it's not New Orleans, right?
No, it's the Commanders. So no, not the Commanders, but like, I mean, the Browns are 6th. Maybe they like Mendoza. I don't know. I just think you could get good value. Like if the Bears were able to get a sub Pro Bowl receiver, the first the next year, a second, only have to move back 8 spots, and they picked up a second or third. Like, I think you could build a whole team through that process. Like even the Stafford trade, like the Lions turned it into basically a starter pack for the team that they have now. Like J-Mo, Jack Campbell, Laporta. I don't know. Maybe I'm not as high on Mendoza as I should be, and that's. I just don't think, like, even if you draft Mendoza, where is he going to rank within the AFC at his peak? Like, he's not going to be better than Mahomes, Lamar, Allen, Burrow, Herbert. That's already 5 guys that he's worse than. So unless you're putting together a team that's rivaling those, if not better, like, I don't know why.
Could he get to Herbert?
No, he doesn't
eventually?
have. Maybe like success wise, like Herbert hasn't done.
Just talent wise, you're saying.
But like, yeah, talent wise, I mean, he doesn't have a better arm. He's smaller than Herbert, not by a lot, but he's smaller than Herbert. I mean, maybe the Raiders just don't put a team together around it, but like Herbert's literally doing everything for that offense with nothing on it. No O-line, guys are injured all the time. But like,
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know how obviously you're not going to succeed your first year. So like, you're going to spend maybe they spend their top 5 pick next year on a receiver, and then you're still ignoring the offensive line, which I think if they were smart, they'd trade down this year and either pick up Maui Goa or one of the Utah guys, and then you pick up an extra second and a first next year, and then the first next year is probably going to be top 10. So like, I don't know. That's just my spiel. Because if it wasn't the Raiders picking first, right? Like, let's say it was, Jets. Maybe even the Jets. Like, do they take Mendoza?
I think the Jets would. I mean, I don't know. I don't know I feel like the Raiders actually have direction, as bad as they are. I think the Jets have not. Like, if we're talking, like, I think the Jets as a franchise right now are so much worse, and maybe that's naive, but you've got better ownership. You're feeling like with Brady in the group, you feel like there's hope there. You feel like you have hope at head coach with Kubiak. You feel like you have hope with skill guys with Bowers, obviously. Genty, I have bias, but top 5, top 10 pick, like, you feel good. You still feel good about Genty, right? So you feel like there's promise. At the Jets, you're like, we don't feel promise at head coach or at skill because, Breece Hall's going to be gone. We know that.
Well, I mean, he could get tagged.
Yeah, if the Jets, I'd be shocked if they tagged Breece Hall.
But
it's
why
pointless franchise tag.
Why would it be pointless though?
I mean, there's no reason to like.
So you're just gonna let him walk for nothing?
I mean, well, okay, sure, they could tag him and then like get a trade out of it, I guess, but there's no. They have nothing they're building toward right now. Is my point.
I okay, look, I think the Jets are a dumpster fire and a half, but I don't know how you can think they're not building towards anything. Like, the, if Dante Moore entered the draft this year,
Sure.
Dante Moore would be the lock at 2, probably, right? Or unless the Raiders, jumped and then they get Mendoza or whatever. But it's like you have, assuming that they franchise tag Brees Hall, like you have Garrett Wilson who has
Sure.
potential to be top 10. Brees Hall is probably a top 10 running back, and that's
Yeah,
without
I agree.
an O line. Like, I mean, I know defensively they traded Williams and they traded Sauce, but it's like they have picks to make stuff happen. And like, I'm not saying they're gonna be like, oh, watch out for the Jets next year. Oh, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
but like, I don't see, like, if you count up the assets each team has, Raiders versus the Jets, like the Raiders realistically the only 3 valuable assets they have are Bowers, Gentry, Crosby.
Yeah.
And even then, they're probably not going to get crazy value for Crosby because teams know that they have to pay him a deal, and the Raiders are kind of shopping him, kind of not. It's like this whole cat and mouse, right?
Yeah.
The Jets, I would say, probably have Garrett Wilson's a valuable asset. If they tag Brees, that's a valuable asset. And then they have more first round picks. I mean, they have the extra one this year, then they have an extra 2 next year.
They do. They do have
So
a
they have
lot
like
of picks.
they have a lot
They
of
have a lot
picks.
of
So like,
picks.
I mean, yeah, I don't like Aaron Glenn, and the GM. I don't know who he is, but he's probably not a genius either. He's no Howie Roseman or Les Snead or
Sure.
whatever, or Casario. But like, I I don't think that they're directionless. The Jets.
Yeah, I mean, you're not complete. I think the only thing they have, because I don't. Garrett Wilson is off of the rookie. Like I think he has an extension already, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
he does.
he's not. I mean, he's obviously a great talent, but he's not on like cheap money now.
Sure. Like,
You're
I mean, the
still
Raiders are going to have to
quarterback.
pay Bowers in 2 years once he reaches his 5th year, unless they're like, oh, time to fucking blow it up or whatever. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I, I mean, they're both dumpster fires. I do agree that the Raiders have more direction in the sense that ownership and head coach are better,
Hmm.
but like, I mean, they both suck.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
But I mean, I'll tell you what, I think the Jets have a better chance of being something in the future than the Cardinals,
That's probably true.
right? Like, I mean, even the Browns, like, I think the Jets have a better chance of being better than the Browns in the coming 5 years.
Yeah.
So,
If they can hit on some of those picks, they'll have a chance.
I mean, if they want to try and compete, right? You tag Brees Hall, you re-sign Elijah
Yeah.
Vera Tucker. I mean, they have Membu was a really good pick last year. I think he's the
Yeah.
left tackle, and then I'm really. I mean, they had the best special teams last year, which blew my mind when I saw that.
Yeah, right? Isn't that crazy?
So like,
They were up
that
there.
that's something to love. Wish the Rams had that. And then potentially, let's say they draft Arvell Reese this year. Like, that's exciting stuff. I would kill to have him on my team. And I think they have top 3 cap space. So it's like, what's stopping them from going to get? I think I saw John Franklin Myers as the DT. I mean, they just traded for Tavondre Sweat. They got another DT that's Harrison Phillips. Like, they have, the makings to be a decent run defending team. They have, assumably, Arvell Reese. They could get, you can sign an edge rusher in free agency, like
Yeah.
a relatively cheaper guy. They have no corners. But I mean, at 2024,
they
whatever the
have
pick
definitely
is,
no corners.
like, they could use the Colts pick and get Hood from Tennessee, or they could get Cisse from South Carolina, whomever. Or I mean, maybe Jermon McCoy falls, and then you get 2 top 10 talents in this year's draft. Like,
More
I think-
people should be talking about how bad that Colts trade was for the Colts, by the way, and how much the Jets just fleeced them.
oh,
I think we were both on that from the jump, and we
Yeah.
both agreed. But like now, it's like really really bad.
I will say, I mean, they fleeced them, but I still think Sauce is like top 12. I mean, you
I
don't
agree,
trade
but
two
now
two
the
first
Colts
for
are
it.
not really. They thought they were better than they actually were,
Well, yeah.
and now they're
You're speaking to the godfather of that idea.
yeah. There's no reason to trade. No team that misses the playoffs feels good about trading 2 first rounders for a top corner.
Oh yeah, and I mean they're gonna give Daniel Jones the bag. In 2 years, we can come back to this. They're gonna have to trade Jonathan Taylor when he's out of his prime for like a third round pick to I don't know the
Yeah.
whomever. Yeah, bookmark that one. And I honestly I would hot take if I'm an NFL GM, I would rather be in the position of working for the Jets than the Colts right now.
Yeah.
You're going to lock up Daniel Jones for 30 million, 35 million a year, right? Your defense is like kind of wishy-washy. You're going to lose Alec Pierce this year. You might have to cut Michael Pittman. You know, you have offensive line guys to pay in the future. Jonathan Taylor's not getting any younger. Did I mention Daniel Jones is your quarterback of the future? Like that's
They're trying to trade AR too, which is wild to me.
yeah. I'll take him for a 6th rounder if I'm the Rams. I mean, even if the Vikings get him, I think Chaos. I genuinely think if you trade Anthony Richardson to someone from the Shanahan McVay tree, so Niners, Rams, Vikings, shit, even the Jaguar. I know that none of these teams really need a quarterback, but like, I think he has a better year than Daniel Jones next year.
Yeah.
Like, and people were so quick to write off Anthony Richardson. And granted, you can't foresee Daniel Jones blowing out his leg and then blowing out the other one. Like, that's just
Yeah.
shitty luck.
Yeah. Terrible luck.
But like, you gave up on a 23-year-old, obviously raw quarterback. Like, I don't know. That always gets me fired up is the whole Anthony Richardson thing. Like, if he was in the draft this year, he's not a 1st-round pick, but he's probably the second quarterback taken. Like, Simpson shouldn't be taken in the 1st round. I don't know if that's a hot take.
No, he shouldn't be. I don't think. I mean, I think he's a solid prospect, but 1st round is tough.
Yeah.
I'm sure because positional value. That's the only reason he's going 1st round. But
Yeah. I didn't
we'll
realize
see.
how small he was. He's only like 6'1". I thought he was like 6'4".
Yeah,
I
he's
did not realize he's like damn near our height. Um, but
Yeah.
now, like, I think the value you could get out of Richardson for even a 5th, I mean, 4th rounder is kind of stretching it, but like a 5th-round pick, I'd take him over Carson Beck in the 3rd, Drew Aller in the 3rd, Nussmeier in the 3rd. And he's younger than all those guys, except for maybe Aller. Like,
Yeah. He's got to be younger than Aller. Yeah. Has to be.
right.
Yeah.
No, I think Aller's young because Aller's was a junior. I don't know. I mean, even then, if they're the same age, I'd rather take Anthony Richardson. Like, he's got better physical tools. He's been in the league for, what is it, 2 years now? So, I just, or three years now.
Ty Simpson 23, Drew Aller
He's 22.
21. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, Richardson's only 2 years older than him. He's already going to be a better running quarterback than Aller is. They probably have the same arm talent.
Yeah.
You know, and they both have the same problems. They can't hit water if they were standing on a boat in the middle of the ocean. So I don't see why you wouldn't take the guy that's already been in the league, who kind of, you know, maybe he's learned from his mistakes already, than the guy coming off an ankle injury who, I mean, cannon for an arm, but tax for brains. Like, he's just, you know, moron. I mean, they're not necessarily either geniuses at the quarterback position like Mendoza, but I don't know.
Sure. I mean, it's a very. Here's what I will say. To your point earlier, I know we're kind of bouncing around, but like, if you don't feel great about the bottom QBs in this draft, like not bottom, but like that tier, like Ty Simpson,
Yeah.
Drew Aller, you should not, like, just stay clear. And there's just so many quarterbacks next year that you might as well just wait it out.
Yeah. I
That
mean, even
point is definitely, definitely makes sense.
even the Jets could look at, they have so many picks, they could trade what's a fourth rounder to them to try and trade for Richardson and see if he's, got at least a little something. Like, I don't know. I
Yeah.
I was gonna say I don't know if you wanted to do like a little mock draft or something, just like alternating picks between teams who you think is.
We can do that.
Let
Yeah,
me
we can do that.
let me find.
With trades too, or without?
We
How
could
does
we
that
could,
work?
I'm down for trades. I think that'd be make it interesting.
Um,
So I mean, obviously, I'll let you start with the Jets because I mean the Raiders pick is pretty obvious. Obviously, there's some intrigue as to if the Jets are going to go normal pass rusher and David Bailey, or if they go Arvell Reese, or maybe they go Sonny Styles. What are you feeling here if you're Aaron Glenn and company?
I mean, I think it's got to be. I feel like it's got to be Arvell Reese. I think that is. I mean, I feel like it's the obvious answer. It's probably the easy answer, but I don't think he's going beyond two. We know QB's going one. There's no other quarterbacks. You're picking probably the best other. I mean, just the best overall prospect on the board. Yeah, I think it's got to be Arvell Reese. That's how I
Okay.
feel.
For the third pick, the Cardinals have basically every single position except for corner and wide receiver that's necessary, and obviously tight end. I've seen people mock Love to them at 3. I've seen offensive line. I honestly think that they should go defense. Um, and I think the 2 picks here that would make it the most sense are you draft either Sonny Styles, but positional value, people say linebacker, whatever. So I'll take David Bailey 3rd. I think
I like
put
that
him
pick.
opposite Sweat. They drafted some dude from like Ole Miss last year that plays D tackle. I don't know if they have Calais Campbell still. Like, they can make a decent defense out of what they have. I think they drafted a linebacker who was pretty decent last year. So yeah, and plus I think you can find a tackle in the second if they have a second round. Uh,
I'm trying to do this on my
if they have,
computer right
I
now.
think they have a second round pick. So I mean, you could get a decent tackle in the second, in my opinion, or sign some guys.
Yeah,
So what do you think?
I mean,
What do you
yeah,
think the Titans do?
I don't think this tackle draft is like insane. So, um, gosh dang it, I'm trying to. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
oh, the lag spike.
Yeah, I'm lagging. I'm just gonna do this. Hang on. Hang on. Still hear
I'm
me?
hanging.
Okay.
I
I was
can- I
trying
can
to
hear
pull
you.
up
It's
a
just
mock
not-
draft simulator like on another tab. I'm just gonna do it on my phone.
Okay.
Just to kind of go through. It helps me know without like having, because I know the guys from college. I don't necessarily know. I'm in rough idea where guys are supposed to be going, but
Mm-hmm.
let's see. So this is the one I wanted. Okay. Yeah, computer just started to shut down. So so you think David Bailey's going
3.
3, and 3
Mhm.
is,
Cardinals.
yeah, okay.
So then Titans are up. You're on the clock.
Titans.
I think there's a pretty easy answer here.
Yeah, I mean it's got to be Ruben Bain.
Oh wow.
If you're going Bailey, yeah, I think they. Who do you think? You think they go?
I thought at 4 you get good value at receiver, and you go Tate, just because. I mean, who's Cam Ward
They
throwing the
need
ball
it.
to? And plus,
I think-
cheap deal, like, that's my justification for it.
Yeah, I think the only reason I go Bane is because number one, I think scheme wise, he fits pretty well. I think you've got Simmons there. You can really, try and build like a solid front seven there. Um, I also think in general, like this kind of gets back to the positional value piece. I'm not against drafting receivers super early like that, but receiver really is a position where you can get tons of value like later. Like that's always been the case. I feel like for a long time. I wouldn't draft like Jeremiah Smith, that'll be kind of an exception. Tate at 4 feels early to me, but again, that could be a hot take. I just in my head that doesn't make as much sense.
I just think I mean, I don't mind Bane. I know that he's low key kind of slipping a little bit just because people are all about the arm length. I don't think that's a huge issue. And he kind of reminds me of Verse, but in that case, I wouldn't draft Jared Verse with the 4th overall pick unless the draft was that bad. No shade to him, but I don't think he's like a great player personally.
Yeah.
Watching him every Sunday, but my justification for Tate is unless you're trading for George Pickens and locking him up for a fat deal, I think you get good value at 4 with Tate. I think he's gonna be like, a good X receiver. I mean, he's probably not gonna be a top 8 guy ever in his career, but like I think he could be perennial 1,000 yards a year. You pair him up with Ward his second year, kind of develop that relationship early, and then I mean, I think there's so many edge rushers that they could take one in the second round. Like they could find some guys, and I think Bane is a really good low or like high ceiling, low floor, or high floor, low ceiling player.
I think Bane can be really, really good, but I'm also not a scout.
Yeah,
I think what he did at some of that Miami tape, and again, like he's obviously very good because he's a top, 5 prospect. So, but he's very strong. He's a freak athlete. Like I think freak athletes, and Bailey's in that category too. I like David Bailey a lot, but obviously so. But I hear you there. I don't know. I think the Titans can trade up later and get another receiver. Let's keep going though. I'm kind of curious to see how this goes. We can go top 10 and see where that gets us.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm keeping a track here. Actually, I'll let you keep track. So 5 is the Giants. I've seen some people saying that they should take Tate here just to pair with Neighbors. That way, what's his face? Neighbors has a guy to run with. Dart's got another option. I think that there's a few options here. I think they could go Downs and bolster their secondary immediately. I think he's going to be a top 5 safety from the get-go in the league. I honestly think that they could go Jeremiah Love and just have top 5 running back duo between him and Scat. Or I think they could go Maui Goa, the dude from Miami, just because opposite of, I think is Andrew Thomas is the left tackle.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know, because I think I saw somewhere that their right tackle is pretty decent. I'll play it safe, and I'll have them taking Downs, just because Harbaugh's there, defensive guy. Offensive coordinator is a bum. What's his face? Nagy. They're going to be bad regardless, so might as well take the best player available. So I feel good about that. I'm going Downs on the Giants.
I could see them going tackle and going with Francis. I could see that. That makes sense to me. I think Francis is elite, but I mean, we've talked about Caleb Downs. You know how I feel about him as a prospect. So I'm not pushing back much at all. I don't know. I feel like they've just used so many picks in the last couple of years early to go defense, and I think at some point you really got to give, the offense some help.
I agree. I think though that, um, I mean, who knows? Maybe they go make a splash for, maybe Mike Evans doesn't want to win a lot and he can go make a lot of money with New York. I mean, I think they're going to trade Thibodeau, is what I saw, like a late day two pick. So
Yeah,
maybe they get a third rounder. But I mean, who is it? Carter Burns, Dexter Lawrence. Like they have obviously defensive guys, but you probably can't name a guy. I mean, I can't name a guy in their secondary besides Cordell Flott, and he's a free agent. So I think I think drafting Downs to whichever team masks so many issues in the secondary overall. I think that would
I
honestly, they
agree.
could be in contention for a top 10 defense next year if they draft Downs and maybe get a corner later on. So, yeah. Plus, I swear I read somewhere that the right tackle that they had a pretty low pressure rate filling in for Evan Neal. Because I think they said something about moving Evan Neal to guard or I don't know. But I think the backup was doing a good job. And then maybe they could get like a guy in the second round, like the guy from Arizona State, Ian Chor. I can't say his name. Max something. But I think that there's talent to be had in later rounds for tackle. So next is the Browns at 6. Who do
Okay,
you?
you ready for this? I've
Oh,
been waiting.
I don't think I'm ready for it after hearing that. So
We're,
lay it
we're
on
gonna
me.
do we're gonna do a little trade action.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and I'm going to move up. I'm just finalizing this. Let me see what other picks they have.
I mean, you could just do it roughly.
Roughly, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think Kansas City's going to trade up
Ooh.
just a couple spots. I think Cleveland, especially seeing Downs off the board, I think they're very willing to trade down and kind of get out
Okay.
based on what's left. So I think roughly it would be pick swap with maybe a third or a fourth for the Chiefs. So we'll go just, the third, whatever. Um, and the Chiefs take. This is now where it gets difficult. I think they're going to go. I think they're going to go receiver. I think they're going to go Tate.
Tate. Okay.
I know it. I think as much as the running back fit makes sense, it really does. I think they need to get Mahomes immediate help and really get the next guy. It feels like Rashee Rice, it hasn't. I mean, he's still a great talent, but there's so much off the field stuff. Worthy kind of fell off at the end of the year, and Kelsey, we know he might play this year. He's probably going off into the sunset. And I think they need a legit hands receiver, bigger body, and I think they go Tate, get their guy.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's a
With,
hot, steaming hot take, but I love it.
I was gonna say, I think with the way the board fell for us, with the last 2 through 5 being defense, I honestly thought that the Chiefs could have got Tate, or at least like Lemon at 9, without having to do anything. Like I think they could have sat.
Yeah, I think either I think Washington would have looked at it. I mean, they probably would have gotten tackle, but I don't know. We're making
So
it fun. So
yeah, okay.
there's my trade.
So here's some fun for you. I think
You have
the co-
Washington next.
Washington. So I think this one's a slam dunk. They suck basically everywhere that's not quarterback and wide receiver 1. I think they invested money in the defense last year. Defense is trash. I think I think the slam dunk pick here is Sonny Styles. I think
Wow.
I mean he's not escaping
it.
the top. I don't think he's jumping out of the top 10. I'm sure the Browns at 6, if they stayed there, they would take a look at him with the way that the board fell to pair with Schlesinger. But even then, I don't think you take 2 linebackers, like that. You probably want to just keep one. But I mean, with how bad their defense was and the fact that the three main pass rushers fell, or
Yeah.
that they went three in a row in the top four, I think leaves them with the best defender available in Sonny Styles. I think that's, after Downs and the three guys, I think that's a slam dunk. And then if they re-sign Bobby Wagner, he gets to learn from a Hall of Famer. So I think that's like, I think that's a very solid pick for them.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
it.
So the next is the Saints for you. What do you?
Yep. I'm having a tough time with this one, and I feel like
I have a steamer.
either both of us are messing this up, or it's just the way it's falling. But I feel like the Saints could go tackle. Part of me thinks they go Delane, get the LSU kid. I think they need defensive pieces in the secondary. I kind of like that fit. I don't think they'd go Love. I don't think they could go receiver. They could go tackle.
I thought
Maybe
honestly Love was a smoker for them.
it makes sense. It makes some sense. I just don't know if, with all their holes, I don't know if I see them go running back.
That's fair. Delane, I didn't think about that one, but that's honestly.
Delane, I like the Saints a lot, but I think they're going to go. I mean, Francis is on the board. I think with how it's fallen, I think they go best guy, best prospect available. Go
'Cause
Francis.
I know that they drafted Banks from Texas last year. They don't have another tackle opposite
I don't
him.
think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. Not that to my knowledge. I mean, I could be forgetting someone, but.
I'm trying to think too.
So now you've got number 9, Cleveland.
Okay. I think Cleveland could throw. I mean, you could draft literally any player. I did see something interesting that all but one of their offensive linemen, at least starting wise, are free agents. So literally their entire O line needs to be revamped. So they could
Now we're
go.
getting some line off the board.
So they could go Fano. They could go Lamu, although I think that's kind of a reach. Maybe this is. I mean, the smart thing would be to draft the O lineman. The Cleveland thing would be to draft Makai Lemon.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go Makai Lemon. That just
Lock
seems.
it in. Okay. Kyle Lemon to Cleveland at 9.
They
Got
have
it?
Shadur. Whoever has the unfortunate experience of playing quarterback for them, at least they have a receiver to throw to. So I'm not super high on Makai Lemon, but just based on everyone else's rankings of him, having him potentially be number 1, I think Makai Lemon at 9 wouldn't be too bad.
I like it. Okay.
So then you
I
got
know where
Bengals
I'm
at
going.
10.
I've
I
got
th-
Bengals at 10. And
Uh-huh.
who do you think I'm going?
I mean, shit, they need just about any position you could possibly get except for receiver and quarterback. I think corner would be a good start for them.
Yep. I'm going Delane. Yep.
Delane.
I don't think there's much to really talk about with this one. I think I would say I thought about tackle for him, but I think I feel like Burrow. I just think they need defensive pieces ASAP, and I think Burrow can at least work with mid offensive line. And again,
I
you can
agree.
get a prospect later, but you need defense bad. And Delane, he feels like I don't want to say can't miss because I feel like it's not fair, but he's close to can't miss. He's up there. So Delane it is.
Okay, so I get the Dolphins.
Yep.
The smart thing, and I'm gonna give them the smart pick because I'm scheming up something. I think they go Fano.
Okay.
I think you got to build the O line. They have a really good center. I think Aaron Brewster. I think you build off of the O line and you go get just the best. Because Francis went to the Saints, right? In our mock.
We double check that. Yes, correct. Yep.
So yeah, Fano I think is the clear pick here. Maybe they go corner in McCoy. I don't think that they go that high with him. But yeah, no, I just think you got to build the trenches. Everyone saw that with Seattle, so I go Fano. So you got Cowgirls at
Cowboys.
12.
Yep. This is a tough one. I think
Receiver.
we still have Tyson on the board. We still have Love on the board. Jermon
Oh, I forgot
McCoy.
about Love.
Yeah,
Sheesh.
I know. I think I actually like how this is mocking for Love because I think he could slip. I don't think he deserves to. It's just
Yeah.
top,
And he's
top running
he's
back.
Genty level prospect. I think that's,
Yeah.
dare I say, maybe even more skilled.
I think he's more skilled, but again, people are now looking at the Genty pick last year, and it's like, well, they didn't have an O line to help them.
I mean,
I
the
think
Cowboys do have an
go
O line to help
defense
them.
though.
Cowboys have the O line to help them.
They do.
But I think they gave Javante a deal though.
They did. He's not going to the Cowboys. Someone could trade up. I don't have a trade up candidate. I'm just
Minnesota?
looking here.
Minnesota?
For who? For Love?
Minnesota, yeah.
I don't know.
Aaron Jones just got cut today, right?
Yeah, that's true. We're gonna stick with Cowboys, and I think they're gonna go edge. I think they're gonna get Fall. Which
Okay.
is a little bit of a reach, but Jerry doesn't trade those picks. They stay and so I think I don't think they want running back or receiver, and they could go corner, but I think they'll go edge. Try and get Micah back. Now this is perfect.
Yeah.
Now we're to your Rams at 13 with Love available, Tyson available, Jermon McCoy.
Okay, so my whole thing is draft. My opinion in the draft is if you draft McCoy this year, you can get a receiver next year to replace Devontae and be the X across from Puka, especially because you're probably gonna have to pay Puka this year or after next, or like after this coming season.
Yep.
The Sean McVay pick would be Kenyon Sadiq here, which I don't mind them taking a tight end, just not at 13. Like if Sadiq fell to 29, which probably is not going to happen, I wouldn't mind it.
Yeah.
I really want McCoy here. I'm just trying to think of what McVay would do. I wouldn't hate Love, honestly. And the reason I say that is because if you draft Love, you could trade. I mean, you can keep Jarquez Hunter, and then you could trade Corum for probably a third and get back what you drafted him for. If not, maybe a second for Corum. Because when you think about it, the second best running back prospect in this draft is Jadarian Price, probably. And I don't think he's higher than a third. Like he shouldn't go higher than the third round, in my opinion. And I think if you had to pick between Blake Corum or Price, 9 out of 10 people are picking Blake Corum. It's like I think you could get a second for him, and then you'd have Kyron and Jeremiah Love. I'm gonna go McCoy just because that's like the safe pick. I just know McVay's gonna do some.
What they might do too.
But the thing, they don't draft the last. Okay, fun trivia. Name the last cornerback the Rams took in the first round.
It's got to be first round. Let's see.
I'll give you a hint. You still lived here in San Diego when it happened.
That's crazy. Who would that have been?
He had a funny nickname.
Oh, what school?
Let me make sure I have it correct.
I'm trying to think. It's not.
He wasn't even okay, so it's not the guy I'm thinking of. Okay, how about this guy? Was this guy the first round pick? So it's not the guy with the funny nickname. It is holy shit. Okay. So neither guy that I thought. Okay. Wow. So I'm just gonna spill the beans here.
Okay.
The last, I didn't even know this, the last first round cornerback that the Rams took was in 2006,
Oh yeah, I'm
so
not.
20 years ago, Ty Hill. Now, who I thought it was, the highest defensive back that they've taken since I've been watching football was Janoris Jenkins, and they took him
Oh,
39th in the second. That's who I thought they took him at the end of the first, but that wouldn't have made sense because that means they would have had to make the playoffs in the early 2010s. So,
Janoris Jenkins, what a dog.
yeah, Jackrabbit. I also thought it was Tremaine Johnson, but he was a third round pick. I thought he could have potentially been a first. So, I like
Yep.
McCoy. I think he has more talent than Delane. I think Delane has the short arms and is a zone corner, whereas I think McCoy you can leave on an island. I think McCoy's ceiling is like top 5 corner, honestly. It's just the ACL, people.
That's interesting. I feel like the lane is.
I'm way higher on McCoy than Delane, personally.
That's interesting.
If I had the pick and both of them were sitting there, I'm taking McCoy 9 out of 10 times, and the only time I'm taking Delane is if I have another good corner. The issue is the Rams corners are butt cheeks, boo boo ass. So I would take the guy with the higher ceiling,
Yeah.
which I think we can agree he has the higher ceiling, probably the lower floor though. So he's more boom or bust. But if you get the McCoy that played football as a sophomore, that was probably the best corner in the nation, or at least top 5.
Yeah.
So I would love if they draft McCoy, I'm buying the jersey immediately. I've been waiting for them to draft a corner that high since I was damn near born. So literally
it's a perfect mock
2006.
then.
Yeah, I would love that pick. So now you got Ravens at 14. There is a slam dunk pick here, just waiting to be had.
Okay, hang on. I'm just picking. Okay, so Ravens at 14. They are. I mean, I don't even hesitate really. I think they have to go Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson stole the board.
Bang!
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
That is
There's
a
not
banger
much to
pick.
talk about there. They need
Yeah.
receiver.
That's a receiver.
Very good receiver prospect. Yep, there it is.
No
Let's do
injuries.
a couple more, and then we'll.
Yeah, no injuries though. Jordan Tyson's easily wide receiver 1.
Yeah, I mean,
He's literally a walking CeeDee Lamb.
I like Tate a lot, man.
I like Tate. Dude, Tyson built different.
Yeah.
If he had Jeremiah Smith playing across from him, and no shade to Tate, but like imagine Tyson could just play 1-on-1 the majority of the day. 700 yards in one game, bruh. Okay.
Yeah, that's
anyways, Buccaneers. I honestly don't know. Oh, boom, easy money. Sadiq. They
Officially lock it in.
Yeah, Otten's a free agent. Baker's. If Mike Evans somehow leaves, Chris Godwin's always hurt. Igbuka's cool. You get the Ducks there, plus McMillan. So I think that shores up your options there. I think that's an easy one.
Shout out. Speaking of Buccaneers and Ducks, Tez Johnson, low-key disowned.
Oh yeah, he had a good little something going.
Yeah, maybe don't cheat the same day you propose, but it's all good.
W mans.
For the Jets at 16.
Sheesh.
Now,
Oh shit.
here's what's interesting. I think if I'm the Jets in this specific spot, I don't think there's any way. I think Jeremiah Love slips. I don't think he slips this much. I think this is where a trade happens. I'm going to for sure get wrong who does the trade, but I'm going to say I might go with your little scenario because it's fun.
Well, I mean, I don't think the Vikings would trade up 2 spots because the only team that they would have to leapfrog
that's true.
is the Lions. I think you could just have the
But
Jets
I don't
take.
think it's off the board that. See, this is why it's interesting because I don't think it's off the board that the Jets pick him for value here, and
I agree.
I don't think it's
I
off the board. So
I don't think it's off the board. the likelihood. I think that they could draft. I think they could draft a corner or a defensive end and have a 10 out of 10 first round.
Yeah, because right now they have Reese, which was my pick. I
mean,
think
they could go. I mean, T.J. Parker, Mesidor, Zion Young, Derek Moore.
is there anyone that can like swoop in here that's really, really running back needy? I mean, the Chiefs could theoretically. I guess they already did their trade up though.
I have an interesting idea. I think there's two teams that could swoop in here.
You're probably thinking. Let's see. So you don't think Minnesota does?
No. They're teams in the 20s.
Okay.
They both made the playoffs.
You think the Eagles might? No, you don't. The Chargers will not. No. So we're on the board there. You think you don't think the Steelers would? No. So
Getting colder.
Chicago? That'd be sick. That'd be so sick.
I mean, imagine Jeremiah Love running behind that O-line. Okay, but I low-key, I could see there being two more teams. Both AFC.
Bills? No. Well, I'm like the Texans will not do it.
They will not, but they should, I think. If he's sitting there,
I would be sick to my stomach just because of what I believe. You can't trade assets. No, I can't. Unfortunately, we have so many other issues.
okay, realistically, Texans don't need to draft a single defensive player this season.
I agree.
Okay.
We need O-line.
Outside of receiver and O-line, Woody Marks is not your running back one, right?
No, I agree, and we're getting rid of Mixon probably.
So, and if Breece Hall somehow stays in the scenario with the Jets, then the best running back option is Kenneth Walker or like Rashad White.
I think the Texans are going to get Kenneth Walker, to be honest.
Really, I like Kenneth Walker. I think
you're
he's
getting
good
Kenneth or Breece. I'm feeling pretty confident about that.
So then, okay. My other team, and this is kind of like a crazy pick, but if the Broncos don't feel strongly about the receivers at the end of the draft or at the end of the first, I think it makes sense for them to jump up and get them. And you pair him with Harvey behind that basically all-pro first-team offensive line, and you just let them have it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't hate it.
Okay, but do you want to just go with the Jets then?
Yeah, I'm just going to go with the Jets taking Love to keep us moving. I think I could see them actually doing it too. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. I have the Lions here. I think that they need somebody to put across from Hutchinson.
Mm-hmm.
I know that they had a little bit of offensive line issues, but I'm not too worried about that. I don't think that they need an interior guy. I mean, they could. Who's the corners available? They could take a corner here. I'm just going to make it easy. I think Mesidor is the guy. Either Mesidor or Parker, but I'll go Mesidor just because he's a little bit older, more refined, higher ceiling. So I'm gonna go Mesidor there at 17.
Okay, got it.
We got Vikings at 18.
Vikings at 18. They're sick that Love got picked.
I have a banger idea for the Rams at 29, so don't steal who I'm thinking.
Okay. If we're gonna go all the way through, we gotta like rapid fire.
We'll rapid fire them.
All right, I'm gonna go Vikings. I don't think they're going offense. Edge is possible. They'll probably go. I feel like in terms of weaknesses and strengths, the Vikings are like desperate for quarterback. I could see them trading the pick, but I'm not gonna sim that. We'll go interior O-line. We'll go, I don't know how you pronounce it. but
Ione.
yeah.
Ione, that's a good pick.
Yep. All right. Panthers at 19.
Panthers at 19. I think that they could look to get. I mean, Sadiq would have been a banger of a pick for them. I do think that they need edge rush help. I think that's just going to be my cop out on a lot of these picks.
Yeah.
But I think T.J. Parker, Clemson, he's Carolina college. I think that's a pretty easy pick just because they couldn't get to Stafford in the playoffs. I think that would be with Derek Brown. They have a decent secondary, so yeah. TJ Parker, yeah. So then Cowgirls at 20 for you.
Yep. I'm going to go with. So my first Cowboys pick was Falk. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
This one we're going to go. Keep it easy, and we're going to go Terrell, corner.
Okay. I thought maybe if they wanted C.J. Allen, I thought that could have been also an option. But yeah, I like
went
that.
Edge, and I want to keep the defense theme, but
yeah, no, I got you. That's a banger. Yeah. So Steelers at 21. I think that they need a receiver because DK Metcalf is trash.
Yep.
I think that they could go Omar Cooper, but I think that that's reaching a little bit. People really like Boston. I liked Boston, but his separation problem is kind of an issue, so that makes him a perfect fit for the Steelers because they don't draft well. So I'm going to go Denzel Boston.
Okay, perfect.
And then you got Chargers.
Chargers at 22. I like the Boston pick. I think some people, I mean, I know we've talked a little bit about him. I think he can.
I think he can be better than DK Metcalf.
His ceiling's lower.
Yeah.
It feels like he's never going to be like a top tier guy, but he can definitely hit. He can definitely be like solid. Chargers 22. Harbaugh's picking. I think they're not going tackle. There's a lot of good tackles here. I don't think they're going. I could see them really doing anything. I think they're going to go D-line.
Okay.
And go Peter Woods.
Peter Woods. Okay. I was literally just about to say D tackle has not been taken. That was the first defensive tackle off the board.
Yep.
Peter Woods there is pretty good value.
Yeah, I agree.
23 Eagles. I think they might need an edge just because I think they said, is it Nolan Smith or Nakobe Dean? One of those guys is a free agent. They said he's going to test the free agent market. I'm going to go Zion Young if he hasn't been taken already.
No, he hasn't. Zion Young.
Out of Missouri. I thought maybe Cassius Howell, but nah, I'm going to go the dude I just said, Zion Young.
Philly, I like it.
Yeah.
All right, Browns at 24.
Because they took Lemon earlier.
That's right. A good reminder. Okay, they took Lemon. So I almost said receiver too. So great reminder. I'm gonna go. It just feels so Browns to go tackle here.
That's a good pick. You got
I think it's a good pick. So
Lamu.
I'm gonna have him take. Yeah, Caleb Lamu.
Banger pick.
Yep. Bears 5.
Yeah, let's just go to defensive tackle. Don't even have to play around here. I think Lee Hunter is the pick. I just think that's pretty self-explanatory. Bolster up the interior D-line. I thought that maybe they could go edge, but I think that Crosby trade is looming, so.
I like it.
Yeah. Bills?
Bills, man. Bills at 26. I think. I feel like edge makes sense.
I thought receiver for them. That was where my head was at.
Possibly receiver. Considering, well, I would have liked the Boston fit.
Mm-hmm.
Concepcion, I don't hate going to Buffalo. Um, you know what? Let's do that. I like that. Let's go Casey Concepcion to Buffalo.
Okay. So I got the Niners.
Yep.
Fucking gross.
Oh, I get to pick my boys. Let's go.
I think that depending on the whole Trent Williams thing, that they could go offensive line, but they never take offensive linemen. They have enough edge guys. They have enough interior D linemen. You know, Fred Warner's there. Blah blah blah. They could go corner here. I'm gonna go receiver. I think that they take Omar Cooper, just because I think he's kind of a yards after catch guy. Jawan Jennings is gone. I think that's a pretty good fit. So you got your boys. Oh, and I got the Rams.
I don't even have to hesitate, man. Proctor, welcome home, baby.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Over Freeling and the dude from ASU.
I've liked Proctor for a minute, and I think he's been a high recruit. I feel like those guys, like, it's boom or bust with those guys a lot of the time, but we need a guy to boom. So I think I would rather swing a little bit, and yeah, I like Proctor.
Okay.
Big body.
Thank you for leaving this guy on the board for me. After watching his combine, this is a banger of a pick. Just who do you think it's gonna be? I wasn't sold on this guy pre-combine, but after watching his workout, if the Rams had this guy, it's
Who are
GG.
you going here?
You're not even ready for this.
I don't know who you're going. Are you going the other Rams? You're not going corner because you already picked corner.
Correct.
So I don't think you're like super committed to a tackle, but maybe you are.
Hell no.
So you want Howell? No. You want Dylan? Wow.
I've come around on the train. I think he's better than McNeil Warren. I think if you draft McCoy and is it Thieneman or Tinneman?
Yeah.
Thieneman?
Yeah.
I think if you draft him, put him with Kitchens, that's two ball hawk safeties. I think Thieneman can hit. I think he can tackle well. Instincts are good. Would easily be the fastest player in their secondary by a long shot. So you have Thieneman, Cam Kitchens, Jermon McCoy. You got Quentin Lake in the slot, and then you can go sign Jamel Dean the offseason, and you go from bottom 5 secondary to top 12 in 2 picks.
Yeah.
So I'm really locked. And he's white, so I know McVay's gonna already have him on his radar. That's just like match made in heaven for Sean McVay. So
I like it. I like it a lot.
Ideal first round for me.
Yep. For Denver, kind of an interesting pick. I think I could see them going linebacker.
Yeah.
I think CJ Allen makes sense. I feel like Howell is slipping too far, but I'm picking fit here, and I'm going CJ Allen to Denver.
Okay. So I get the Patriots. I think that they go tackle just because of how bad their trench game was. I thought that maybe they could go edge rusher, but they have a couple of vets already. I think they go Freeling. I think he's got a lot of potential to be a pretty good tackle. But yeah, I think he's maybe even the replacement for... You can maybe move him to left tackle and move Campbell to right guard, because they already have a left guard. I forgot his name, but he was getting work too. So
yeah,
I think that would shore up their offensive line. And then you got a really young offensive line to grow with Drake May. So
yeah, I like it.
And then finally, Super Bowl champ
Seattle could do
Seattle.
anything. Um, it would be really interesting. And well, okay, never mind. I take that back because they got Milrow last year. I don't think they would do this necessarily because I believe in Darnold and everything, but I don't
Yeah.
know how long. Like, it's just a weird spot. I don't know what the timetable is for Darnold, even though he's won a Super Bowl,
Uh-huh.
career, Seattle, etc. Maybe you feel like you reach on a quarterback, but
I think they go corner. Just because Reek's a free agent.
yeah, they could go.
Or even edge rusher, honestly, because I think a couple of guys are free agents.
I mean, I could see them kind of pulling a Philly and going. Howell slipped a little bit, so
Yeah.
I could see them going Howell, just getting value there at the end of the first.
That'd be a banger pick.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay, banger. I honestly think that was a pretty good mock. I think the only thing that we had not wrong, but I think what's the determining factor. I mean, it's the determining factor in any draft, but obviously the top 10 kind of shapes.
Yeah,
Like the Caleb Williams draft when all the quarterbacks went, and then the first defensive player taken was like Dallas Turner or whomever.
yeah,
I think that there's a possibility that the Cardinals take either O-line or Jeremiah Love, and it just shifts the entirety of the board. So that's kind of my thought process there. I think also the Saints could take Jeremiah Love, and that kind of shifts things. And then that trade with the Browns and the Chiefs, that could be also interesting. But
I kind of like it. I like that trade.
I do like it for both sides, honestly.
Yeah, I just think the Chiefs spot is very interesting. I think they really need to get a guy in this. It could be Jeremiah Love. It might just be Tate, and they get, this very solid receiver. Tate feels like to me a can't miss receiver. Like, I'm not saying he's like Randy Moss in terms of can't miss, but it feels like Tate, wherever he goes, is having 1,100 yards next season.
I can get down with that.
He's been
this is
just super productive in college. I don't know. So I think he makes sense to KC.
No, I agree. Plus they've never really had a big body receiver. Like Justin Ross was supposed to be that guy, and then he got hurt, and there was a whole thing about that. So I mean, I think overall we nailed at least team needs. I think the Vikings could go Thieneman at 18 or McNeil Warren, and then that pushes Ione to the Chargers.
Yeah.
I think maybe the Cowboys instead of Terrell maybe take, what's the dude's name that we missed? Howell?
Yeah, Howell.
I think maybe they could take Howell instead of him falling. I think the Rams might look at a receiver at 29, or they might go receiver at 13 and then fucking some bullshit at 29. But like, I mean, I think the ones we really nailed, like obviously the first two picks, either Reese or Bailey, whatever. I think Downs to the Giants is there. Chiefs taking a receiver feels pretty good. Commanders taking Styles, I like that one a lot. I think that's the bottom of where he pans out. But like Delane to the Bengals, banger. Fano to the Dolphins, banger. Kedrick Falk, Cowboys, banger. Tyson to the Ravens, ultra banger. Sadiq, Buccaneers, ultra banger. Edge rushers to the Lions and Panthers. Boston to Pittsburgh. I think there's a lot of bangers in here.
Yeah. No,
I wonder,
I like it.
When the draft happens, we should do like a tally of how many of these picks, like how many of the teams the picks we absolutely got right, and then how many of the guys overall in the first round we got right. Because I bet
slotted.
Yeah, I bet there's a chance that Concepcion and Cooper fall out of the first. Same with Lee Hunter. Maybe Terrell. But most of these guys are can't miss first rounders. I feel like everyone has the same first rounders, in all their mocks, just different orders. But like
Yeah.
McNeil, Warren, Caleb Banks, Caden McDonald, maybe a team gets hyped for Ty Simpson. So
I mean, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like the first 20 guys should be pretty consistent, pretty
yeah,
consistent. No,
but
that was fun though. It was good,
yeah,
good to run a little mock. I like that.
that was a banger.
I'll have to run my own and see how it plays out.
And
I know these guys from college, but I'm not following where like these guys are mocked right now. Besides like top 5, I kind of have a good idea, but
yeah, I honestly think that third pick is going to be where it gets pivotal.
yeah, because if
Cardinals, if they go
yeah,
Maui Goa, then that pushes the Saints to take probably an offensive player. Like maybe they go Lemon at 8 or Tate at 8 if he slips. Like a lot of options, but that's what makes it so fun. This time period between now and the draft, I wish there was just like a auto skip,
yeah, I know.
feature. This is just like dead time.
Fast forward real quick.
Yeah.
Yep.
But no, I'm pretty hyped.
Yeah, it'll be good. I mean, it's not next year's draft, but it is a pretty good draft.
Yeah.
It'll
Some
be
sleepers.
Yep, it'll be really good. Well, I'm down to wrap that one up.
All right, I'm done.
Loki, I'll put the link to that draft. Again, I don't know how many people are going to see this, but I'll put the link for the draft just in case. Appreciate you guys making it to the end. As always, everything's down below. Comment, especially this time of the year. Like, if we watch, definitely comment what kinds of content you want to see, what kinds of episodes, and we'll get after it. So, appreciate you guys, and on to next week.
Peace.
Yeah, Mike.